So here we are on a, what is it, Monday afternoon, just looking at this subframe here. It's got these two main rails that go along, and they're welded to this. Well, it's not really a plate, is it, as such? Just goes along here, back to here, and goes across. And I've looked at it, you know, I've had a look under here. There's no obvious things like anything broken, come adrift or anything. I pulled the seat and side covers off and stuff. I had a look under there. There's no, you know, I half expected to see a broken frame rail or something like that, but there isn't. It's well clamped there, going from, you know, over that side right over this side, which is a good thing. However, this subframe, you know, it kind of doesn't feel right. That makes any sense. I mean, there's a long way, sort of, you know, say we'll say here to there, with nothing bracing it. This is part of that piece there. If I get this screwdriver and wedge it in here somewhere, don't know whether you can see that, but that whole thing is moving. I don't know whether you can see it by looking at the shadow underneath the engine fins there. You can see, look at that. And that's, I'm not putting much pressure on that at all. And I can only imagine what that might be like under load, as it were. It just kind of worries me a bit. I mean, that you think, oh well, there's not much in that, is there? You know. But if you look at it like that, and then you consider what it's like with me on it, weight in the sidecar, you know, torque, you know, forces, stuff like that, it's something to think about. You know, I would be tempted. Catheads. I would be tempted to put a brace across here somewhere that is out of the way of the water pump, so you can, you know, have access to the water pump, something like that. And Hall effect sensor in there, cam chain. I haven't actually. And under here, you know, another, like a piece coming from here to here or something, even if it's sort of slight bow, won't reduce ground clearance much at all, really, not really. It might have to be considered, I reckon. I'll check all these nuts and bolts to make sure that they're actually tight. I mean, can't see why they won't be, but I'll do that now. Then we'll look at the sidecar on the other side as well. Actually, there is a little bit of movement on this bolt here. It's not as tight as it could be, so I'll get some proper spanners out and not just a shifter. And have a look, go over that. So, don't know whether you can see that there. That bolt. It took quite a few turns. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder what the other sides are like. I don't know whether you can see the silver of the clean thread that's been exposed by tightening it up. That's how much it's gone. This one took about, let's say, half a turn. This one here. What's this? I don't know what I think I'm going to replace these bolts. Seem a bit bloody soft, don't they? And that's a lot of turns, you know, for the bloody main bottom mounting arm. You know, you get the picture. So this one was tight. This one's tight. Running out of daylight now, so I'll come back tomorrow or the next day whenever I can get a chance and start looking at the chassis as well. I mean, all these things here, maybe all little things add up to a bit more movement than you'd think. I'm not sure. I still think the likely thing is going to be the subframe. Oh, I just need to check that other one at the engine there too. Once again, we're looking at a lot of movement there. Now we're going to get a spanner onto that end. I'll just want to see if it moves at that end. See when it starts. So all in all, a pretty dodgy effort really. And the sort of thing that I should have just checked straight away, but I still don't think that's going to have that's the root cause of that problem, you know. I still think it's the subframe itself maybe that's just not up to the job and is going to require some reinforcement. If I could take the subframe off the other bike, I suppose. But then there will be some cutting and welding required to fit this sidecar to that subframe, etc., etc. We'll see how things go down the track.